Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. The next episode of Red Valkyrie is about to start.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Red Valkyrie. I am your host Shae Zombie, and I am here with the awesome, really good friend of the show, Fuselier Ben. How you doing?
How are you?
You know, I'm just chilling in space because that's what I do these days.
Oh, I'm all jacked up on nerves.
Yeah, I bet. So, normally I would kind of vamp a little bit as to why we're here, but rather than do that, how about you tell us why you are so nervous?
Well, while we are live here on stream, I am going to be launching Outlaw Nights: Genesis of a Renegade onto Indiegogo.
Oh snap! That is what we are here to do, and it is going to be fucking awesome. So, for those of you who don't know, this is a relaunch for Ben.
Yep.
We did try this a couple months back, and for whatever reason, timing, advertising, whatever it was, didn't quite make the goal, right?
Yeah.
I
mean, for my first campaign,
it wasn't bad. Like you got close, if I recall. You got very close, just ran out of time at the end.
Well, I mean, I didn't really get super close, but I mean, the fact that I was able to clear like over 2K on my first try on this thing, and I wasn't really super well known.
Right.
You know, I think that was a pretty good sign. You know?
Absolutely. Well, so right now you could still sign up for the email list, but we are going to be going live during the stream. So is there any benefit or perk for somebody signing up on the email list?
Everybody who gets on the email list, I'm going to start sending emails out fairly soon. We are going to be offering exclusive perks on the email list. For the main campaign itself, we're not really doing extra perks in the tiers. We're mostly sticking to just issues of the book, and that's because the number one thing I just noticed with a lot of projects is that a lot of projects that tend to promise a lot of things tend to end up being really late. And it's just because, you know, you tend to bite off more than you can chew.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'd rather play this more conservatively. My number one priority is making sure that the book gets done and out to y'all as quickly as possible. And so
that is a good goal.
Yeah. And so it's like, most of the main perks on the campaign are going to be just issues of the book. But if you sign up for the email list, we're going to be throwing in a couple of poster tiers, maybe a couple of extra little sussies to throw in.
So if you want to have any of the extras, you need to sign up right now on this email list, because you are not going to have a whole lot of time before Ben is going to hit live, and this is going to be a thing. What do you think, Ben? You think 2:30 Eastern?
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Yep, I'm good with that.
All right, you guys now have 15 minutes if you want to get on this email list to get those exclusive perks. That's it. And then we're going to go live, and then you're just going to have what you have. So go and get on that list now. All right. So to get people more excited, obviously, let's talk about exactly what is Outlaw Nights.
So this issue of Outlaw Nights: Genesis of a Renegade is hopefully going to be the first of a 6-issue arc, though I would like to keep the story going beyond 6 issues. Because to me, the beauty of the pirate genre is that your characters can go on new adventures, self-contained adventures in each new issues after this 6-issue arc, of course. So essentially, this is very much a futuristic space opera. Takes place about 1,000 years from now. Humanity has begun colonizing in outer space, but it's not super advanced. It's not Star Wars or Star Trek or anything like that. it's still a new frontier kind of time period. And the nations of Earth are all at each other's throats, competing over territory and over resources. So it's a very chaotic time period. And piracy has entered a new golden age, because with Earth's forces being stretched thin throughout its colonies, it's allowed more room for the criminal underworld to rise up. In the midst of all this is our main character, Cyrus Lawson, who is a nice, honest, I would say kind of naive and heroic guy. He works as a security guard on a very small, out-of-the-way colony known as Therese. And he mostly went there to kind of pursue a dream of getting away from it all, and at the same time being kind of a small town hero in a small town, you know?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Cyrus is not going to get his wish, because the colony is being invaded by the pirate crew of the ship known as Hazard. And they're led by the enigmatic and infamous Ivory. And so, push comes to shove, our boy Cyrus is going to be captured by these pirates, and he's going to have to learn how to survive in a world with moral ambiguity. He's going to have to overcome his notions of heroism, or his fantasized notions of heroism. And he's going to have to realize that it's not all good versus evil.
Mm-hmm. Little bit of gray area for
this is very much
figure out.
This is very much the making of an anti-hero, like a hero becoming an anti-hero.
All right. So this up here, this first panel that we got right here, this is the pirates ship that has to take them over, right?
That is the flight deck of Hazard. Mm-hmm. And the man with the e-cigar right there is our good old Ivory, and he is actually probably in the series. And
he's got a cybernetic eye or something?
Yep. It allows him to size up his enemies, if you know what I mean.
That's how you know he's a bad guy, because he's got the eye. Like it's if they've got white hair, or if they've got like some chiseled jawline with some like jacked up eye or something, that's always the bad guy. That's how you know.
Well, I wouldn't classify Ivory as a bad guy. He's not a good guy, but he's not a bad guy. You know what I mean?
He's a guy. He's a flawed person, is what he is.
A lot of this first issue is mostly going to be focused on setting everything up. But within the next couple issues is when we're going to start delving into Ivory and Cyrus kind of clashing in terms of their ideologies. So it's like sometimes he's more of a protagonist, sometimes he's an antagonist,
Yep, that makes sense. That does. So is this dashing gentleman chasing after, is that our main guy, like our...
Oh yeah, that is Cyrus Lawson.
He looks like his last name would be Lawson.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So how many pages are we talking here?
Well, for our goal, which I've set at about 6,500,
okay,
we will get 25 pages.
Okay.
And if we can hit a 14K stretch goal, we will get a full 50 pages.
Ooh, so double, basically.
Yep.
Okay. So 14K is the ultimate goal, everyone, because we want to get the full, complete story. So looking at this, you have a render contender who is doing all of your artwork.
He's doing all of the line art and everything. He's not the colorist. But
no, the colorist is Prasad Patnaik.
Oh yeah. Yep. I mean, yeah, he was actually suggested to me by Sierra Whiskey way back in the day, and I was just blown away by his use of color. It's crazy how much depth he adds to these pictures.
Yeah, well, and it seems like just based off of these couple of panels that we can see here, he's doing a really good job about pulling out, like when you have the inside of a ship, there's so much danger, I guess, when it comes to the artwork and the colors for everything to kind of blend together into one like giant homogeneous metal thing. And he's doing a really good job in kind of delineating the foreground, midground, background, and making sure that it's not, while it may all be steel, it's not all the same color steel. It's not all boring to look at, which is something that, oddly enough, with space, everybody's like, space is gorgeous. You could do so much and it's like limitless. And then when people start doing stuff in it, they're like, everything's metal in the ship and I don't know how to fix that. And so it just stays like a very muted color the entire time. So this looks really good. This is a good use of color and a good use of cool tones without them all kind of blending together.
Oh, absolutely. Because I think the number one thing I told him about was I really, because of the title of the series, Outlaw Nights, I wanted a lot of the shots to have a lot of shadow and a lot of heavy, just, it looks like it's nighttime in almost every shot. That's kind of what I was going for. And he did an awesome job at that and keeping it dynamic.
Yeah. No, it's definitely interesting to look at. For sure. I'm excited for you to launch so I can see more because
me too.
The little tiny clips aren't enough. They're good, but they're not enough. And I still gotta say, and I still gotta give you kudos, the background that you have for this where it says Outlaw Nights with the world and everything, like the oranges and blues, is such a good combination. It's such a cool look to have for sure.
I can tell you that idea was all Render. That was all his idea.
Hats off to you, Render. That is a phenomenal idea. And it comes across really clean and really, really professional. And it's something that we've been talking about a little bit more frequently is when it comes to your cover, you need to make sure that your cover is something that is eye-catching, that you have a logo that is going to make people want to check things out. And having these kinds of color combinations come together are very eye-catching and are things that people go, well, I kind of want to see what's going to happen here, just because the way those colors fit together, it's a pleasing thing for our eyes.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my goodness. 6 minutes. If you haven't signed up, you have 6 minutes before we're hitting live. So sign up so you can get exclusive perks, because when we launch the actual campaign, Ben has already told you it's going to be pretty bare bones. It's going to be, this is what the book is. This is making sure you get the book. If you want to be able to have posters, if you want to have some of those more interesting, swaggy kind of perks, you need to get on the mailing list in the next 6 minutes.
Yep. And also, although I should mention, I totally forgot to mention this, but on the main campaign, though, we are keeping 2 high-level tiers for being drawn into the book, which, you're going to want to get in on that. I mean,
right?
I would do it,
I mean, you want to be this guy, right?
Exactly. And
Wait,
then
what happens if I want to be that guy? Are you going to make it a girl?
Yeah, I might actually be able to do that. I mean, Render might not be happy with me, but I'll do it.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah, no, if you want to get drawn in, I love the drawn in perks because it's so interesting to see somebody else's take on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially having you be like in a book where you're not just like, I don't know, Chris would disagree with me, where you're not just dead.
Oh,
Chris
yeah.
loves to be killed in all the books. And I get that. And that's also kind of cool. Like, it's just one of those things. When you have something in print, you can point to it and be like, that right there, that's me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's a cool feeling. And
I mean, and especially like in an art style, kind of like Renders, it's like, no matter what, you're going to look awesome when you get drawn in,
Dude, and I'm sure if you talk to a Render and said, I want a sick face tat, like what this guy's got going here, he'd probably be like, okay, yeah, we'll give you a Mike Tyson.
It's so funny. Like, that's one of the things that I think that's the only major thing that I aggravate Render with is when I'm like, oh yeah, I need more tattoos on this guy. I need more whatever. And he's just like, ugh, You know,
he's the one that has to draw it panel to panel, not you. Well, it's just like whenever if somebody ever does like rendering of me, usually I have like a shawl or I've got long sleeves. They're like, your tattoo is a little bit much. I'm like, yeah, I get that. It's a lot to have to draw. But it's literally one of our other indie creators. I am SE Tonks. It's an illustration of his, and I took his line art and his colors to my tattooist, and my tattooist took his line art and made that the stencil.
Oh my God.
So I lit every single tiny little line, every bit of detail and texture, and there is a lot of it everywhere. I felt every single bit of that.
Yeah, I can understand why somebody wouldn't want to draw that, you know.
Yeah, you're literally having to recreate another artist's art to at least some extent, which is already daunting. And then you have to put it on an arm, which makes it really tiny. It's not a fun thing. All right, so what would you say to somebody who was on the fence about backing? How would you win them over?
Well, I don't understand why somebody wouldn't back, you know?
No ego here, I promise.
Well, no, it's just, you know, we, like, all of us involved gave 110%, and we're super proud of what we've been creating. And I feel like, you know, this book is going to be exciting, and it's going to be a fun new world to explore. And it's going to, you know, it's going to have concepts that I think typically aren't super explored in comic books. You know, the concept of sort of the reverse of the hero's journey, that's usually kind of reserved for more villainous characters in comics. But I'm sort of doing it where, you know, this is our hero. He's not evil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, most of them aren't evil. I mean, Taurus, the guy with the face tattoo down there, he's pretty evil. He's, you know.
I mean, he's got to be. He's got a face tat. Isn't that a requirement? I don't feel like people get face tats and are like, "Hi, I love kittens," with the exception of Mike Tyson. He is always the exception to every possible rule out there because it's Mike Tyson.
Well, he's definitely methed out. I can tell you that. He's on a lot of uppers that make him unstable.
All right then. That's like it is a learning channel here, okay? We learn at Red Valkyrie. Okay, so you're down to your last 30 seconds to get on this mailing list before we're gonna hit live. So if you're a real thrill seeker, you can try right now, real quick. Oh, it is 2:30. Ben, are you ready to hit that button?
I'm ready.
All right, give it a hit. Let's see.
All right.
I'm just gonna keep refreshing.
Before, please require the. Oh, for God's sake! Oh, Jesus! Like,
Ben, did you boomer?
A little bit, but not a lot.
Okay.
I thought I could have sworn that I did these tags already. I could have sworn.
It's okay. We'll just wait for you. I believe in you, Ben. This is gonna go live. Damn it! It will go live on this show.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
It will go live at some point in the future.
Right. We will eventually get this campaign live. Oh, we got Lola in the channel. What's up, Lola?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
She says, yo. Because Lolas Street, yo.
Okay, I got all that. Come on, let's do it. What am I missing? That's so nuts.
So for everyone who just recently joined us, like Lola, we went to go live and Ben hit a button and apparently did not set everything up all the way.
I thought I did. It was I made sure to go over this. Like, Gee, oh, for God's sake. Ugh. This is so dumb. Why? I could have sworn I filled this out.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. You probably filled it out and forgot to save. It's fine. It happens. Look, would this be the best shit show on YouTube if we didn't have everything go wrong every time we tried to do something cool?
And I had a feeling. I was like, I know that something's gonna come up in red. Like something's gonna happen.
Absolutely.
Good Lord. Okay. Okay, look. Oh, for God's sakes, with the fucking email. Oh. All right. All right, there we go. That should be enough. You son of a bitch. No, it's not enough. This is so crazy.
Boys and girls, when you launch a campaign, then what things did it tell you that you were missing? And so other people, when they launch their campaigns, can double check to make sure that they're not missing the same things.
It told me I was missing like my name and email, even though I could have sworn I filled those out before.
So tell them who you are when you try to launch a campaign and how they can reach you, because those are important things. Damn it, Ben.
Oh God, this is making me crazy. I hate this.
It's okay. We're only 3 minutes past what we said. Look, y'all are getting bonus time right now. If you haven't signed up for that mailing list and you want to get a peek at those exclusive perks, you got some bonus time while Ben boomers it up. So,
oh, I'm boomering the hell out of this.
It's okay. I only let all of Twitter know.
Oh, okay. Well, y'all are weird. They didn't save my tags from before. That's the thing I'm missing, is the freaking tags.
There you go.
God forbid we launch without the freaking tags. Damn. I wish I could just put sex as a tag, but that wouldn't be appropriate.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I don't think that's going to work well for you.
This isn't Captain Love, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just thrashing you just a little bit on Twitter. So we've got
that's okay.
Going live now if Ben can get his shit together. And then that was 2 minutes ago. And now we're Boomer Ben is working on his tags now. We might be live in a second. Maybe.
I think that it might work.
Maybe. There is a possibility. Oh man, we're just hemorrhaging viewers too. They're like, man, they can't get this shit together.
Oh, for God's sakes. Can't you people be a little patient?
We said 2:30, Ben. We said 2:30. It is 2:35.
Okay. Okay, this should have it. This should have it. Yes.
Did it all go through? Am I refreshing?
Yes, we did it. Yes.
Yay! We are officially live. Woo! You did it, Ben. I'm proud of you. You found a way. Oh my goodness, that was hilarious. Okay, so this is Outlaw Nights. Get in on this now. We are now officially live. Let's go down and let's look over some of your artwork that you got here, because it's a really interesting looking book for sure. I remember from the first time. Oh my goodness. Hello. I forgot about her. That was, if I do recall, that was Cy's favorite.
Yes. That was the one that Cy was claiming you should cosplay as.
Yeah, she likes to say things like that she thinks are funny.
I thought it was a very good idea. I think you should shave your head to be like Code.
Yeah, no, I think I'm good. I also don't believe that I am buxom enough for that top. But so this is your cover. This is your main cover. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
I love this. I love that you have this guy over here who's just chilling with some whiskey.
Oh, that's my man Serpent. He's the he's the con man of the group.
All right. I mean, he looks pretty sketchy, so I totally agree with that.
I think he kind of looks like me a little bit, except with more muscle and handsomeness.
A little more rugged, maybe a little bit more suave. But otherwise, spinning image. Terrible. Okay, so let's just go through how much you introduce us to all of them. So we got, this is Ivory, right?
Yep. In the center there is Ivory.
Yes. With the eye. Remember, evil eye.
Oh yeah.
All right, so just go ahead and so we got Serpent, we got Ivory, we got, who's this guy over here with the gun and the flak jacket and the cornrows?
That is Kodiak, and he is sort of the leader of the gunners of the ship. He handles offense and defense. Yeah, and he's comes off kind of gruff at first, but eventually we're going to learn things about him, and it's going to make you feel like shit. For
you're gonna be like, wow, he's such an asshole, and then you're gonna be like, oh, I'm a dick for calling him an asshole.
Buy this book because it'll make you feel like shit. No, I'm kidding.
You know what? That's a good tagline. So that is not the tagline. All right. And Sai's most favoritist. What was her name again?
Her name is Code, and she's the she's mainly in charge of uploading viruses and hacking other people's computers. And every once in a while, she'll step in with that awesome Gatling gun.
I'm sorry. How did she step in with a Gatling gun that is the same size as her?
It's a lightweight metal. It's the future.
Oh, okay. It's a fucking. She ripped that shit off a tank. Is what happened.
It's the future.
It's the future. What is this? This little lizard guy down at the bottom there.
Oh, that's just an example of one of the critters that we find on Therese. They don't really play a significant role. It's just to show how all the alien life forms in Outlaw Nights they're not going to be intelligent life. They're all going to be like animals. So it's going to be, there's going to be some extra fun chases and attacks and all. Not in this issue, but later on.
Okay. All right. And then we got our Lawson man right there.
Oh yeah, that the guy with the goggles on his head, that's Bit.
Uh-huh.
And he's another tech guy, but he's very incompetent.
Is that why there's a man with a gun behind him that's like, don't fuck this up again, but
pretty much
shoot you.
Yeah, there's more to that story that I'm not going to reveal.
Oh, all right. So is it kind of like all of the stuff that you have here? Did you basically take like small little moments from the comic and have that come up on your cover?
Well, yeah, it was that when I was talking with Render about the cover, it was that I was suggesting doing, a nice montage of different moments of the characters, but then like Render himself pretty much had that idea already.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so he started kind of playing around with it. So he decided to take a few snippets of scenes from the book and just kind of composite them together.
I mean, call me old-fashioned. This is something that I love when people do this with comics and movies and everything like that, because it gives you, it's like they're like little Easter eggs, and before you see the movie or before you read the book, you don't know that that's what they are. Like you just see like these moments and you're like, oh, that looks kind of badass. And then you go and watch the movie, and when you see this exact scene or this exact moment play out and you go back to the poster and you're like, oh, no, I remember that. And it was so cool because this guy did this and then that happened. It gets you all excited and pumped for it. So I love seeing it like that because it's like a little like memory jogger the next time you go to read it.
Oh, absolutely. And I just, I like the idea of a cover that just kind of encompasses the spirit of the story, kind of. And I feel like this cover does that.
Yeah,
It's showing like, showing like Ivory kind of looming behind Cyrus, and like Cyrus is kind of the little guy in this group, even though he's in the center, Just I like those details,
All the little foreshadowing. All right, let's do a reload and let's see. Still no one? How is there not a backer yet? You know what?
Yeah.
I'm about to open a can of whoop ass on people. All right, so we've already seen some of this art. Ooh, this is a little bit more. That's right. I remember now. Now I remember. I forgot that he chops off arms.
Yep.
Because he's a psychopath.
It's just, you don't tell him what he doesn't want to hear. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
he has no problem shooting the messenger.
Obviously. Yeah. What do you do if you're supposed to tell him like it's a no-win situation?
Well, I think it's that comment that he made in that little panel right there where Taurus has his eyes closed. He was basically I can tell you that the setup for this was that Taurus made a deal with Ivory. Ivory betrayed him. And so essentially this was just him, one of his crew members being kind of a wise ass, being like, oh, I knew we shouldn't have done that. And so it's like, no, you don't second guess the captain even when he's wrong, Well,
so here's another funny thing is if you really pay attention to this dude has all of his everything. Yep. Right? He's got his own arms, his own legs, his own everything. Everyone else on this crew, I don't have a hand. I'm missing 2 arms. I got cut off at the fucking wrist over here. This dude back here looks like he doesn't have his own hands. Why would you pop off as the only one who is still fully organic? Like, that just sounds like a really stupid thing to do. With a guy who is as unstable as this motherfucker.
These guys are all hard asses, they're all...
Well, now he's a hard ass with 1 less arm. Oh my gosh. I'd forgotten about this.
It's all about machismo. It's all about that,
Yeah, that served him real well. All right, damn. You got some really nice shots. I really like the environment and I like the kind of the color fade and everything that you got going.
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah. Yeah, that is a naval officer who is in pursuit of our crew. He goes by the name Wellington.
Is his first name Beef?
Sure.
So does he just run around without a shirt on the whole time?
Well, it's part of the cyborg thing, He's got a bunch of enhancements.
It's like, I don't feel the cold, so I'm just not gonna wear a shirt.
It's just, he's a hard ass.
Yeah. So I'm sensing a theme. There's a lot of hard asses in this book, is what
Absolutely.
I'm sensing.
You got to be tough to survive in the Outlands.
Okay, so who's this chick sitting over here?
Oh, that's just an outlaw.
This is any outlaw?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to give her a name. Look at her.
Well, you know how it goes. Like, I'm going to listen to fan feedback, and there's going to be people who are like, oh, I want to know more about this person or that person. And then they get incorporated into future stuff.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you can't have a girl sitting there looking all like that and just be like, yeah, it's just a background character, and be like, damn.
I wanted to make sure that the background characters were all pretty sexy for the most part.
I mean, and I like this guy that's sitting up, like, all kind of, mysterious in the background, leaning up against.
Yeah, honestly, when I got that page back, that was the guy with the hood was the guy who I was like, maybe I'll do something more with him, because I was kind of like,
I like him, and it's one of those things that he would be cool to see come around in, like, issue 3, where you kind of have forgotten, and he just kind of pops up randomly in the background of some of these other incidences, and then all of a sudden, now he's like a main person that you actually follow through.
I'm making mental notes.
I'm just saying. I mean, if I were a writer of this particular IP,
you know, that's been stored in the back of my mind.
All right. So, let's go through what your tiers are, and so people know how they can back you. So, your first perk
is just the book.
Just the book. And I like how you say it like that. It's not just the book. It is the book. So if you want,
it is the #1 book of all time.
If you want just the standard, I want the story, and I want, without a whole bunch of frills or anything, I want the book. I want to be able to experience it. Maybe you don't have a lot of funds available. $25 is going to get you this book. It's starting at 24 pages, you said, correct?
25.
25.
But yeah.
Okay. I'm pretty sure you have to do them in multiples of 4. But
usually I just it was that where it was in the script I had, like I felt like the 25 page mark was really a nice stopping point.
Okay.
Like, you know, you could easily just go into the next half of the book in another issue. So,
okay.
You know.
All right. So you're
going to
get
made logical
25
sense.
pages of story. There might be a couple pages here and there for whatever to fill out what you need to actually be able to get it into a comic. Since they do them in multiples of 4. But yeah, so 25 pages of story. The original cover and all of that, which is pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
And this is just the physical copy, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So
I don't think I offered a digital tier this time around, just because I honestly prefer the physical book. You know, it's just better.
I mean, I can see it both ways. I understand, especially when you have people that are overseas. Digital is obviously probably more what they're going to go for because shipping sucks.
Oh, damn.
You also have, when you have people who are like me, who aren't going to sit down and read all of their books all at the same time. You might want to, read it when you're on the train or on a flight or something like that. And it's easier if you can just bring a tablet instead of a whole bunch of books. But the downside to it for me is being able to, actually hold a comic and flip through the pages. Like, one of the funny things specifically about this comic that I just happen to have sitting on my desk for a different reason. So we had Raven who did Machi, and when she did Machi, she offered a glow-in-the-dark cover, right?
Okay.
Well, I didn't realize this book, aside from having a matte cover, so because she did her own glow-in-the-dark painting herself, it's actually textured, and I didn't know that. And it is so nice to hold and be like, yeah, okay, I really like that. And then all of the pages inside are obviously a really good weight and everything. So I definitely understand the appeal of having a physical book that you can hold in your hand, and you can kind of feel the pages. You can hear that crispness. It's a different experience than flipping through digital. I just know for some people, digital is what makes the most sense considering where they are.
Oh yeah, I totally see that point. I just for me personally, I'll read manga or comics digitally, and I get annoyed because it's you have to kind of double click on the panel you want, and it gets kind of screwy,
Oh yeah, sometimes they're where they help you through the guided reading stuff, and they cut off things or they go out of order because something was messed up in the file, and you're like, well, this doesn't make sense. This isn't how this was supposed to go.
Yeah.
So you like having the control.
Yeah, and also I just like having the picture blown up nice and large. You know what I mean? So you can take your time looking through it. Whereas in digital, it's it's dependent on the screen you have. And for me, I just have a phone. So it's
this little tiny phone is not quite the same. So I understand where you're coming from. So you do have a $50 tier to get 2 copies of the same book, and a digital preview. So despite not doing digital, you will do a digital preview. So how long is that preview?
It's going to be about 10 pages.
Okay.
And and it'll be released well ahead of the complete book, just so people have some incentive.
Yeah. Understood.
Because I know that, people are getting annoyed waiting a long time for books. So it's like I want to reduce that as much as possible.
All right. So get 3. So all of these basically, you've got them all the same price. There's not really a discount. So
pretty much.
You get 2 for 50, you get 3 for 75.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Personally, and a little piece of advice: if you're gonna have somebody who's gonna offer to get 3 books, kick $5 off for them.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because you're trying to give somebody a reason to want to back you at a higher tier, and the only incentive they're really getting here is, well, if I want to ship them all to the same place and I divvy them up among my friends, we can pay 1 shipping. But if you're giving them a little bit off, then it's, well, I can pay 1 shipping and we get to save a little bit, which is a little bit more enticing. Recommendation: it's obviously your campaign. And what you prefer.
No, I mean, all advice, there's no such thing as bad advice.
All right. And then we've got 4 for 100.
Yeah.
But we're about, this is what we want to see.
The original art pages. There's going to Render has volunteered. Normally he is a strictly digigal artist, but he has volunteered to do 10 pages by hand.
Damn.
Just for this. So you're going to want to get in on this, because Render's going places, and you want to get a piece of original Render artwork. You gotta.
He's got really, really nice lines and a really interesting kind of way that he's drawing out and fleshing out a lot of these characters. And so I think getting a piece of original art from him is really awesome, especially considering there's only 1 of 10. And if he's normally a digital artist and he's like, no, I'm going to do 10 pages that I'm going to, sit down and actually do traditionally, that's a really cool thing to be able to turn around and pick up. So I highly recommend getting on this if you can afford it. I know times are tough with COVID. The thing I can't say. Shit. Anyway, times are tough, and I know it's difficult, but if you can, this is a really good opportunity for you to own some original artwork. So that is a really cool perk to have. And then for 320, you get to be in the book, which is also badass.
Yep. You will be, I believe, we got 10 slots available. So the way it's going to work, of course, is, depending on the order of who backs it, it's like you back it first, you get your pick of whatever, and then it goes down the sliding scale like that. So get in on it while it's good.
Absolutely. That is awesome. All right. So let's see if anyone has any questions for Ben. And I am going to just kick off with what my question would be, which is what I would assume a lot of other people's questions would be too. Since this is a relaunch, what do you feel that you've learned from your first campaign that is going to hopefully make the second campaign a lot more successful?
Well, I learned definitely don't spam your project to every part of Twitter. I learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
And I also learned essentially, it's like the more you have on the campaign, the better. Last time I launched, I didn't have like a main video or anything like that, and I think I was kind of overshooting on a couple of areas. So I feel like with this campaign, it's like I've tightened it up nicer, and I was able to add more artwork to this one, which is always a plus in my opinion.
Definitely. Okay. I feel like that those are good lessons to learn, and those are some of the things that we had been talking about before, was that it's difficult to know what is enough versus too much when you're trying to promote your campaign. But one of the things that I will say that I think you're doing much better than you did your first time through is the fact that you are a lot more personable.
Yeah.
People know who you are a little bit better, and you are kind of hanging out with people more. You're kind of showing more of your personality. And when somebody's backing it, especially when they're backing an indie project, it's not just the project that they're backing you. And if people don't have faith in you, it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I think that you've done a much better job this time around, making sure that people kind of know who you are a little bit more. And it's a really good chance for you to kind of mend that, like, the first time through, because people like the book. They like the idea of the book. They like where things seem to be going. It's just a matter of getting everything to kind of line up like it needs to in order for this to be a success. And I think that you're much better equipped this time around than your first time.
Well, thank you.
It's not, and it's not a knock. It's something that you can really only learn trial by fire. And some people, it takes, a failed campaign for people to go, oh, wait, that one didn't fund. Like, there's so many projects, it's hard to keep track. Okay, if this one didn't fund, I'm going to really keep my eye on it for the future.
Absolutely.
And so, showing that you're not down and out.
And just I'm stating right now that if by chance this campaign does not succeed, I am going to be launching yet again. So
So just continue to tweak and learn and keep going until you get something that people are wanting to really help support. I think that that's very admirable. I think that shows a lot of faith in your project and a lot of faith in you and your team, which is really awesome to see.
But it's too many of the stars aligned for this. It's like, I feel like if I just let it go, that would just be a waste,
Understood. So we do actually have a question from Justin. How many pages of your book are currently done?
We have, I believe it's about 9 pages done so far. Okay. And Render is currently working on another one. So
when you say done, are you saying the line art is done? The line art in colors, line art colors, letters?
Line art, colors, and letters.
9 pages. Okay.
Yep.
So you're sitting at, for your initial kind of goal, you're sitting at almost a third. Well, no. Yeah, it's about a third.
About, yeah. Oh yeah, another thing, because I was thinking ahead of, like, I don't want to start putting out pages after funding, like, I wanted to get as much done as I could. Because, timeliness is super important to me.
Yeah. That's another big problem, is when people are launching campaigns and there's not much done. And I know that it's difficult because it depends on how much funding you currently have available to you. So if you don't have the funds to pay to get your stuff done ahead of time, that makes things a little bit more tricky. But at the same time, you're also asking people to have faith in you.
Yeah.
You're going to come through. And that's a big ask. That's a rough ask if
yeah.
So making sure that you can show people like, hey, some of my skin's on the line too. I've invested in getting art done. I may not be able to get the entire book done, but I've invested in getting what I can done. That at least shows people that you are serious about it, that you're not just trying to, get quick money and get out.
Well,
So that's
all I can say is thank God we got those government stimulus checks.
yeah.
That's really helping Outlaw Nights.
I believe you. I do. I think that's probably a huge help. So, what other kind of lessons learned and stuff do you think that you're going to use for this campaign, or what do you think that you did well on your last campaign that you want to really show? You want to bring back to this one?
I honestly liked most of my setup on the last campaign. It was just that it's like you were saying before, like I wasn't really actively going onto too many channels or streams. And I think, that's the most important difference, I think, this time around, is that I've been going on more streams. I've been talking with people and trying to get my personality out there. I'm a little shy, but
It's okay. The thing is you can be shy and still show people that. It's a matter of people knowing who you are. And so I think that I know that you started doing some of your own streams and kind of fighting your way through that and seeing what happens, because those are streaming, dude. For anyone who thinks that streaming is super easy, like not even a little bit. It's super nerve-wracking and time-consuming and is a little tricky to try and get everything down. I've started looking at my schedule, and I actually had to get a whiteboard and put it up on my wall just so I could write, like, this is what I'm doing on this day. This is who I have on this day, because I have so many things that have been lined up. So it's definitely it's a tricky thing to do. And I applaud you for trying to get out there more so people can get to know you better by streaming, because that is rough for sure. Do you have any other channels lined up that you plan on going on?
Not like too many specifics at the moment. I've been kind of in talks with people, but I haven't pinned anything down. I was gonna stream earlier today, but I just kind of, when I woke up, I was super nervous already, and I was just kind of, I don't want to do that just yet. But I might try to do sort of an impromptu stream later on today.
Nice. I think that'd be good, and just kind of do a check-in and see where you are and all of that. I also highly recommend seeing if you can get in on some of the other streamers' channels, like see if Arch City will have you on.
Oh yeah.
There's a ton. There's so many places you can go. But I definitely think that getting out there and letting people kind of talk with you and pepper you with questions about your campaign is probably a really good way to go, because it helps get you a little bit more recognition, and it also it makes you not just some like useless person who's asking for money.
But it's also good just for potential backers to have a lot of their questions answered,
Absolutely. Well, and I know that this is kind of because we didn't blow this up as like a giant launch party, which was a shame.
I don't think, I still get the vibe when I post Outlaw Nights on Twitter that there are a lot of people who are like, huh? What is this? What?
Yeah, I understand that for sure. So I definitely think it would be cool to, follow this and kind of check in on it and see where you're at, how things are going, and make sure that, you've already got Tompa. I don't even know how many times he's tweeted this out, but he's put out there that you were coming on here. He put out there that you were going live. He put out that you were live. He put out that you were still live. Like he's really pushing for you. So
Tompa is like, he is a king among men. you know.
He is. Tompa is real good, peeps. And I am incredibly appreciative for everything that he does, because he is how I find a lot of my talent that I end up bringing onto this channel, because he is the one that's posting about all these different creators I didn't even know existed. I have somebody coming on Sunday that I don't think even has a Twitter. But Tompa had pushed him out and pushed out his project. And I was like, dude, this project's awesome. And so I ended up reaching out to him through Indiegogo. And the guy was like, well, I mean, if you don't mind, I'm kind of nervous, but if you don't mind that, I would love to come on. I was like, yeah, don't worry about that. That's fine.
Hell
like,
yeah.
Everyone who comes on my show is at least a little bit nervous at some point. I say that. That's a bold-faced lie. I got plenty of people who were not nervous at all. Like when Fuso came in and busted down that door, he didn't give a shit. He just straight through. And Justin in the chat is also super badass. He definitely brings in a lot of different types of projects and stuff within like CG and indie. And he's another person that I watch, because he'll find somebody and be like, hey, go talk to Shae. She might have you on. And I'm like, hey, let me look at your project. Like, okay, this is pretty cool. Like maybe hit me up and we'll see.
Nice.
You know, and so there's we got a lot of people that pull for a lot of you indie creators. And I will say, you do have a backer.
Yes. I actually glanced at that a second ago. You know.
So it has begun. And now it's just a matter of making sure that we get it out to enough people. Definitely want to look at trying to pull you back on at some point. I mean, you're at 31 days. So you've got an entire month ahead of you.
Yep.
So we'll look at seeing if we can't get you back in before this campaign closes out, and see where you're sitting and see what we can do as far as getting you over that line. And I mean,
nice.
In all honesty, by the time I have you on, you may not even need my help. You may already be past that line.
Well, thank you so much for your confidence.
I know it's nerve-wracking, but this is one of those. It wasn't as hyped for most campaign launches, and so it was a little bit quieter. So this is something that we just need to get the word out that it just launched, and see if we can't get you on a couple of those other shows, and really kind of highlight the fact that, hey, this is here and it's out, and make sure you don't miss out on this.
Yep. And also, the big difference I did yes. compared to my last time I launched. Last time, I foolishly thought I was being smart when I launched with the full 60 days.
Yeah, no.
And that was just, that didn't work out well. So this time around, I'm doing it the way of I'm launching for 30 and then I'll relaunch for 30, Yeah,
I mean, honestly, that is a better way to go about it for most people most of the time. Well, I don't think, and unfortunately, I'm sorry that it is 3 p.m. Eastern, so people are like eating or just waking up or whatever. Like people are kind of out and about, so we haven't had a huge audience. I'm hoping that we're going to get a whole ton of replay.
I think so.
And we'll definitely make sure that we, kind of keep in touch and keep up on what's going on with Outlaw Nights. But I think that this is probably a good place to end it. Yeah. You do have a backer. So for everyone who is watching, number 1 slot is already gone. You already missed out on that. So make sure that you don't miss out on any of the next little bit that he's got, because he's got a lot of really cool stuff that you can get. It's a little bit pared down right now because he's trying to keep it very streamlined. So make sure that you go and check out. If this is a book that interests you, go and back it for sure. Share this out. Go follow Ben. Thank you so much for coming on, Ben. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you. I appreciate the hell out of it. I always have fun.
Oh, I appreciate you. And thank you so much to everyone in the chat for coming out and being supportive. That's super great. Make sure everybody that we like, share, and subscribe to Red Valkyrie. Make sure that we get Ben as many eyes on this project as humanly possible. And we will catch you all next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Bye.